Hello, my dear students, grade 9. How are you? So today we are going to revise the structure of the whole term. And I think you're ready because I know that you are all of you good students, and I know that you study hard and you're doing your best. So we're going to start together. It's going to be easy, don't worry. So we're going to start with Unit 7, present simple and past simple passive. Okay, so the first thing you're going to think about is what's the passive and what's the active. The active voice is when you know the doer of the action. What's the doer of the action? It means, for example, this sentence, Ahmed plays volleyball every day. So we know who plays volleyball every day. Who plays volleyball every day? Yes, it's Ahmed. So Ahmed is the doer. He's the one who plays volleyball. But the passive here, as you can notice also, it's obvious who does the action in a sentence. If it's obvious and you know the doer, so you don't have to talk about him or her, so you're going to use the passive voice, okay? When we don't want to say who does the action in a sentence, you're going to use the passive voice. I don't want to talk about the doer. I don't like him, so I'm not going to talk about him. When we don't know who does the action in a sentence. So, for example, I have a crime in beside my apartment, but I don't know who did it. So I'm going to use the passive voice, okay? Because I don't know who did the action. And also, when it's not important who does the action in a sentence, okay? So this is when we can use the passive voice, okay? So the passive voice describes a verb whose subject doesn't perform the action of the verb, but receives it, okay? For example, the bridge was destroyed by engineer. The most important thing here in this sentence is the bridge, not the engineers who destroyed it. Okay, so that's why I used the passive voice, because the bridge is the most important thing for me. Okay, so the subject didn't do the action of the verb. As you can see that the bridge is not the one who destroyed the engineers. No, the engineers are the one who destroyed the bridge, okay? So the action of the verb was done to the subject itself. Okay, so as we said that we're gonna use the simple present passive and the past simple passive. So we know the present simple or the simple present. It's when you have he or she or it or anything refers to them, and after them, you're going to add s or es to the verb. And if you have I, you, we, and they, you're not going to add anything to the verb. You're going to keep the verb as it is. Okay? So here we have a sentence. He opens the door. This is an active voice. Active. Why it's active? Because I know the doer. It's he. Okay? He's the one who opens the door. Now I need to change it into passive. So I'm going to say, and I'm going to start with the door, because the door is the most important part here. So the door. So I know that this is the simple present because I have the word or the verb open with S, opens. So I'm going to add am, is, or are, and the PP of this verb. So the passive in the present simple, you have to add am, or, is, or, are, and then the PP of this verb. Okay? Then you're going to add by, and the subject itself is going to be at the end of the sentence. So the door is opened by him. Why did we change he into him? Because you know that he now is not the subject, it's going to be an object. And you know that if you have, or you're going to change the subject pronoun into object pronoun, you're going to change them a lot, like that. For example, the subject, if I have I, so I'm going to change it into me. If I have you, I'm going to change it into also you. He, it's going to be him. She, it's going to be her. It, it's going to be it also. And we, it's going to be us. And they, it's going to be them. Okay? So you have to know if you want to change the subject pronoun into object pronoun, you have to know them. Okay? Okay. Now some examples for the active and when we change it into passive in the simple present. Mohan sings a song. We know that this is a present simple or a simple present. So we have S here. So we're going to change it into, I'm going to start with Mohan. No, I'm going to start with a song. So a song is sung by Mohan because we said that. I'm going to start with the object and it's going to be the subject of the sentence. Then I'm going to look at the verb. I'm going to find it in the simple present. So I'm going to add am, is, or are, and then the PP of the verb, and then by whatever. Okay? Number 2, Sita reads a book. So who's the most important one here? Is it the Sita or the book? Of course, I'm going to start with a book. So a book is read by Sita. Okay, number 3. He writes a letter. So I'm going to start with a letter. A letter is written by him. He plays cricket. Cricket is played by her. He sells books. Books are sold by him. Great, guys. So we're going to remember, okay, the present simple passive. You have the subject, and then am, is, or are, and the PP. Now we're going to go to the simple past passive. It's so easy, guys. So we know the past simple. It's when we talk about something happened in the past and finished. Done. Nothing here. Okay. So I'm going to add to the verb ed, or maybe I can change the verb like go. It will be went. Okay, irregular verbs. So if I have an active voice, so it means that I know the one who did the thing or the action, the doer. For example, Mary gave Joe a ring. Okay? So who gave Joe a ring? It's Mary. So we know the doer. So this is active. Okay. So now we're going to change it into passive. So the most important part is, yes, exactly, a ring. So a ring, oops, you just said that I'm going to add am, is, or are in the simple present. What about the past simple? Yes, guys, you're going to change it into was or were and the PP. Okay, so a ring is singular, so I'm going to add was. A ring was, and the PP of gave is. Exactly, guys, I know that you are good. Given. So a ring was given to Joe by whom? By Mary, exactly. So the subject is, or the doer is at the end because he's not important. I want to talk about the ring, not marry. That's why I used the passive. Okay, excellent, guys. So the past simple passive is the subject and was or were, and the PP or the past participle. Excellent, guys. Okay, now let's practice together. So complete the sentences with the correct form of the words in brackets. For one, new roads built all over Egypt every day. So someone will ask me, would I know it's present simple or past simple? Of course, you're going to understand from the sentence, the meaning of the sentence, if it talks about present or past, or you can find one of the time marks, like every year, every day, always, sometimes, usually like that. And in the past, you will find yesterday and last and ago, things like that. Okay. Now in this sentence, new roads built all over Egypt every year. Is it a simple present or past simple? Exactly. It's simple present. So we said that in the simple present, we have to add am or is or are and the PP. So new roads, roads. So it's going to be are, exactly. So new roads are, what's the PP of built? PP of build is built. Excellent. So it's going to be new roads are built all over Egypt every year. Excellent, guys. Number two, who break the glass of this window yesterday? Who break the glass of this window yesterday? This is not passive, actually. This is active. So it's going to be who, yes, broke. Who broke the glass of this window yesterday? Okay, a bag full of money. Find on the road after the accident. Is it present or the past? Accident happened, so it's past. So a bag full of money. I'm going to do what now? I'm going to add was or where and the PP. Was or where and the PP. So money is singular. So I'm going to say a bag full of money was found on the road after the accident. Excellent. Different kinds of food cooked for the guests last night. Of course, this is past. So I'm going to add was or where and then the PP. So it's going to be were cooked. Why? Because we have kinds of food. Okay. The pyramids are by thousands of tourists every year. Okay, so this is passive. And after am, is, or are, I'm going to add the PP. So it's going to be visiting. No, it's going to be visited. So visited. The pyramids are visited by thousands of tourists every year. Great, guys. Excellent. Now let's go to Unit 8. The verbs followed by to and the infinitive, and the verbs followed by the gerund. And what's the gerund? It's the verb ing. We called it gerund. And also, we're going to revise the first conditional F. Both of them are easy. Okay. We practice it a lot. Verbs to and the infinitive, like this sentence, I want to be an astronaut. So we have the verb want, and it's followed by to and the infinitive. So this is one of the verbs, okay? So what are the verbs that should be followed by to and the infinitive? You have to memorize them. I'm sorry, but we have to memorize them. Allow, agree, arrange, ask, choose, decide, expect, fail, help, hope, intend, need, learn, manage, offer, plan, promise, refuse, threaten, want, wish, and would like. All of these verbs should be followed by to and the infinitive. Okay. What are the verbs that should be followed by the gerund? Okay. They are, and we said that the gerund are the verbs ing. They are include, keep, mind, avoid, consider, deny, dislike, enjoy, finish, imagine, practice, recommend, suggest, and admit. All of these verbs should be followed by the gerund or the verb ing. I avoid playing. I dislike watching. I finish studying. Okay. Now we have verbs followed by both to and the infinitive and the gerund also. But actually, when you use them with the gerund, it means you are talking about something more general. But if you're going to talk about to and the infinitive, you're going to use it with the to and the infinitive, you're going to use it for more specific moments. So what are these verbs? Begin or start, continue, hate, like, love, prefer. For example, if I say I like eating pizza, it means that I always like eating pizza. This is general, every time. But I like to eat pizza now, but after maybe an hour, no, I'm not gonna eat it. Okay? So we have also subverbs that followed by to and the infinitive or the gerund, the verb ing, but with the some changes in meaning. Okay? Okay, so we have the word stop. Stop to and the infinitive. I stopped to call you. So I interrupted another action in order to call you. For example, I was walking, so I stopped and get my phone and call you. Okay? Okay. What about the stop and the gerund? Stop verb ing. For example, I stopped calling you. It means I stopped doing this action at all. I'll never do it again. So I stopped calling you. It means maybe we had a fight together, so we stopped talking. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Okay. And we have also forget. Forget and followed by to and infinitive. It means, for example, this sentence, I forgot to meet him. I forgot to meet him. That means that I didn't meet him because I forgot to do. Okay? So I promised you that I'll meet you, for example, tomorrow at 9. Then, oops, I forgot to meet you. Okay. What about forget and the gerund? Like I forgot meeting him. That means that I don't have the memory inside my mind that I remember, or I can even recognize your face. So I don't have the memory of meeting him before. Okay, and also the verb remember. Remember to and the infinitive. She remembered to visit her grandmother. That means that she didn't forget to visit her. But if I have remember at the gerund, verb ing, so it means she remembered visiting her grandmother. It means that is one of her memories that she remember visiting her mother from time to time. Okay, now let's practice together. If we keep burning fossil fuels, climate change will get worse. The verb keep, what's followed by? Yes, it's followed by verb ing. If we keep burning fossil fuels. Okay. Number 2, we should avoid pollute the environment. Avoid is one of the verbs that should be followed by a gerund. So we should avoid polluting the environment. Okay. We plan to spend the weekend in the village. Okay, so plan followed by to and the infinitive. Yes, we plan to spend the weekend in the village. And number 4, do you enjoy played the piano? Enjoy is one of the verbs followed by playing. Yes, ing, gerund. What do I need buying from the shops, Mom? Need. It's one of the verbs followed by to and infinitive. What do I need to buy from the shops, Mom? We need using cleaner, renewable energy. Need. It means that we're going to use the to infinitive. We need to use. Okay. You can choose recycling your plastic bottles. You can choose to recycle. Excellent, guys. Okay. Now we're going to revise the first conditional F. What's the first conditional F? The first conditional F, when you talk about something that might happen in the future if a condition exists. For example, if I study, I will succeed. If I study now, this is the condition exists. I will succeed in the future. That might happen in the future if the condition exists now. Okay? If you study, you will pass the exam. If he doesn't call, you should tell me immediately. If your room is tidy, you can leave. If you win, we will celebrate soon. We will celebrate soon if we win. Okay. So here we have the F clause and the main clause. The F clause, it means the sentence that followed after F. Okay. And the main clause, it's the one after the comma. Okay. So in the F clause, in the first conditional F, you have to find the simple present or present simple. The main clause, you can find will, can, may, should, or maybe imperative. Okay? Okay. So if you have F in the middle, don't add comma. No comma when you put the main clause at the beginning. Okay? And don't ever try to think to put will with the F clause. Okay, now let's practice together. So what should I do if I want to answer the F clause correctly? You have to look at the sentence that's given to you and to see if it's main clause or F clause and to see the content inside it. Then you're going to choose what to do with the other one, the missing one. If it's hot tomorrow, so I have the F clause here and it's present simple. So of course, present simple, so I should have will instead of would. We will go to the beach. Okay, number 2, if the train is late, F clause, present simple, I need will and the infinitive. So I will phone you. What you do if you don't catch the train? I have the F clause, present simple. So I should have here, will you do? What will you do? Number 4, what will happen if we not recycle rubbish? So I have the main clause, but the F clause is missing. So the main clause will and the infinitive. So if clause should be present simple in the negative form. Don't or doesn't. We have we here, so it's going to be don't recycle. It should be small letter, guys. Our environment be cleaner if we recycle our rubbish. So which part do we have? Yes, we have the if clause. If we recycle our rubbish. So if we recycle our rubbish, this is the if clause and it's present simple. So I need here will be, okay? Number 6, what you do if you don't understand the homework. So I have if clause, present simple in the negative form. So here I need what will you do if you don't understand the homework? Now, another thing, expressing reasons and contrast. Reasons, it means you're going to find so or because. Contrast, like but, however, like that. Okay, reasons. Okay, we can use because if you want to express reasons. Because in the middle of the sentence, before it, the result, and after it, the reason, and should be complete sentence. For example, I didn't go to the party because I was sick. We have other words, equals, because. And they are also in the middle of the sentence. Okay. We have, this is because. But after it, we have the complete sentence. But before it, we have a comma. So it should be capital letter. Okay, this is because this should be capital because we have before it full stop or period. Okay. We have that's why, which equals so. And we know that so and because is the opposite. Okay, because we have the reason first, and that's why or so, and then the result. I was sick, full stop. That's why I didn't go to the party. Now, contrast, however or nevertheless. Both of them correct. So, after, however or nevertheless, we have a comma and then complete sentence. Before them, we have full stop. Okay? So I don't have much time, full stop, however, or nevertheless, comma, I do voluntary work. Now let's practice it together. The competition was tough, full stop. So our team did well in all matches, and comma. So it's contrast, guys. It's not reason, contrast. Okay, so nevertheless or however. So the competition was tough. However, our team did well in all matches. Rahma has got high marks. Full stop. Because she's smiling. We know that because doesn't have before it full stop. So that's why she's smiling. Okay. Rahma is smiling. That's why she has got high marks. We have full stop. Don't forget, it's not going to be because. This is because or that's because. Basim didn't train well because he won the game. This is contrast. So it's not going to be because, it's going to be however or nevertheless. So Basim didn't train well. However, he won the game. The car didn't have enough petrol because it stopped working. That's why it stopped working. Reason. Okay. we're going to go to Unit 9, the second conditional F and used to. Okay, the second conditional F. Theory. We use the second conditional when we talk about imaginary or unrealistic events, imaginary situation. If I had wings, I will never have wings, guys. So this is imaginary. Take a look at the pictures below. Note that we can change the order as indicated. If and after it, this is the F clause, guys. In the F clause, we have past simple and comma, and the main clause, we will have would and the infinitive. Okay? And instead of would, we can add could, might. Okay? So if I have if in the middle, no, you're not going to add comma here. Would and the infinitive, F clause and the past simple. If I were rich, I would donate a lot of money to charity. This is imaginary, but now, maybe in the future, I will be rich. Maybe, who knows? If I were president, I would focus on climate change. If I were president, this is imaginary. Maybe in the future, I will be the president. Take care, guys. Okay, so we said now that the second conditional is for imaginary situations and also for advice. If I were you, I would go to the doctor. If I were you, I would study hard. So the second conditional is for imaginary and advice situations. Now let's practice together. We said that we have to look at the part that given. It's if clause or the main clause. If we live in Hurghada, we would go to the beach. So we have now the main clause, would and infinitive. So I know that would and the infinitive, this is the second conditional F. So I need in the if clause past simple. If we lived in Hurghada, we would go to the beach. Those farmers move if there was another flood. So we have the F clause, past simple. So I need here would and the infinitive. So would move. Okay, great, guys. So number 3, she not be an environmental scientist if she didn't love nature. We have the F clause, past simple in the negative. So we need would and the infinitive, but in the negative, so it's going to be wouldn't be. Okay, she wouldn't be an environmental scientist if she didn't love nature. What will you do if you got a job in a different city? F clause in the past simple. No, I'm not going to choose will. It's going to be would. What would you do if you got a job in a different city? Tariq would pass the test if he studies hard. I have would and the infinitive. This is the second conditional F. So it's going to be studied past simple. What clothes will you wear if you lived in a cold country? I have the F clause in the past simple. So I don't need will. I need would. We have fewer storms if climate change stopped. F clause past simple. So I need it would have. Excellent. Now, the word used to. Used to? Oh, I used to be a handsome prince. That means that he was a handsome prince, but now he's not. And the hen said, and I used to be an egg. She was an egg, but now she's not. She's a hen. We're gonna eat it. Okay? It's okay, expensive, guys. Okay, so used to, it means something that was in the past or happened in the past, but now stopped. Okay? What's the negative form of it? Didn't use to and the infinitive. Didn't use to and the infinitive. In the question, did and the subject, and used to and the infinitive, exactly like the past simple. Exactly past simple, because it's a past one. It's a past one because we talked about past. Okay, so let's practice. That building used to being a factory. We said that used to and the, yes, infinitive. The building used to be a factory. What do you used to learn at primary school? You just said that. It's so close to past simple. It is past simple. So it's not going to be do, it's going to be did. Excellent. Dr. Sameh used for? No, used to help to give people new hearts. Exactly. He used to sing new songs. No, we said used to after infinitive. So he used to sing nice songs. He used to be lazy, but now he be lazy. Be, it means I need something related to verb to be, am, is, or are. Now he is in, yes. Did he used to ride bikes? He said that did, and the subject and the infinitive of use. Used, it's use. Did he used to ride bikes? Great, guys. Now we're gonna go to unit 10. Present perfect, present perfect continuous, and the past perfect. Great. Okay, present perfect, we took it in the first year, and we know it. It's something related to the past and the present, okay? Something happened in the past, but has an effect in the present, okay? What's the affirmative form of it? It's the subject, have, or has, and then the past participle, okay? So I have finished the report. This is the present perfect. What's the question form of it? It's, you're gonna start with have or has, and then the subject and the past participle. They have studied for the test, so it's gonna be have they studied for the test. What's the negative form of it? It's the subject haven't or hasn't, and the past participle. So I have not finished the report. The contraction is I haven't finished the report. What about the present perfect continuous? It's so close to the present perfect. It's nothing between them, not a big difference between them. The present perfect, we said that if something happened in the past and has an effect in the present, but the present perfect continuous, something happened in the past, but still going on in the present, okay? When we talk about an unspecified period of time and an action that started before now and continues in the present, we use the present perfect continuous tense. What's the form of the present perfect continuous? It's also like the present perfect, have or have. Then been or been, and then the verb ing. The word continuous, if you heard it, so you have to know that we have verb ing here. So the present perfect continuous is have, has, and been or been, and the verb ing. So I have been playing football since morning. So I started in the past and still going on and still playing up till now football. Okay. Negative, I haven't been playing football since morning. question. Have I been playing football since morning? Or have you been playing football since morning? Great. Now you have to know since and for. Okay. So we know that since after it or followed by starting point and continues until now. Okay? I have been living in Japan since 2012 and I'm still living. Okay? For is duration of time. Okay? I have been living in Japan for 4 years. When we measure the duration of something or how long it lasts, it has a start point and an end point and can be used in different tenses. This is for the word for. But the word since, when something started in the past and continues until now, so since is mostly used in the present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay? So for, you can use it for 10 minutes, for 8 hours, for 5 days, for 6 months, for 3 years, for 2 centuries, no specific time at all. But since is a specific time since 8 o'clock, since Monday, since February, since 1982, since I left school, and since the end of last century. Don't forget that since, it could be followed by a period or starting point in the for time. And also, if you have a sentence after since, it should be past simple. Past simple, guys, please don't forget it. Okay. Now we're going to practice together. Selma has been in Farouk's school 2013. This is a specific year. Since 2013, great. Haytham has created an app already. So after have and has, we have the PP, created. I have already came to school. Guys, came is not the PP. Okay, because I know that a lot of you make it wrong and answer it wrong because they thought that came is the PP. No, it's come, came, come again. Okay, so I have already come to school. Nada has won already a gold medal. So I need the PP of win is won, and already is not here. It should be between have or has and the PP. So Nada has already won a gold medal. Mrs. Mona has teaching English since 2001. So has and verb ing. So I need the been. Yes, been. So Mrs. Mona has been teaching English since 2001. I have been do this hobby since last year. Have and been and yes, verb ing. I have been doing this hobby since last year. Okay. You look tired. What had you been doing? Had? What had? Have. What have you been doing? They have been living here since a year. Which year? Which year? So no specific time. It's 4, guys. Excellent. Now we're going to go to the past perfect tense. When do we use the past perfect tense? It's used for the past action already finished, already finished. When another past action happened, so these are 2 actions, guys, 2 actions. One happened first and finished, okay? Then another action happened after it and also finished. Okay, so the two actions finished in the past. After the film had started and finished, we arrived. For the past action that started in the past and continued up to a given time in the past. So started in the past and going on until a specific time, also in the past. I had never seen him for 5 days. What's the form of the past perfect? It's had and the PP. So easy. Had and the PP. That's it. So when do we use the past perfect tense? The past perfect takes place before another past action. Two actions, we said. I noticed that he had left his books behind. What happened first? That he had left his books. This is the first action. Finished. And what happened after that in the past? We noticed, or I noticed. Okay? So we have some conjunctions for the past perfect. You have to know what comes after them and what's the other action or the other sentence should be in. So we have after or as soon as. If they came at the beginning of the sentence, they should be followed by past perfect, had and the PP. And then comma, and then the past simple. The past perfect is the first action happened in the past. First action happened in the past. Okay? Past simple is the second action. What if I found them in the middle? So of course, it's the past simple will be the first and the second sentence past perfect tense or had and the PP. Okay, I have also before or by the time or when. And if they are at the beginning of the sentence, so it's going to be past simple and the other sentence should be past perfect. Okay. If they are in the middle, before, by the time, or when, before them past perfect, it's had and the PP, and after them the past simple. Okay. This point is very important. Until or till. You'll never find them except in the middle, guys, in the middle of the sentence. You'll never find it at the beginning of the sentence. So you're going to find it in the middle, and you're going to find it before it, negative. Before it, negative in the past. Before, until, negative in the past. So you can find didn't in the infinitive. Wasn't, PP and the adjective. Weren't and PP and the adjective. Okay? And then the past perfect had and the PP. Okay. If I didn't find a subject in the sentence, what should I do? Where is the subject? Don't worry, we have a solution for everything. Okay. So if I don't have a subject and I have after or before, and they told me to correct the sentence, don't put subject from your mind. No, just add the verb ing. Verb ing. Okay? For example, after Ahmed had finished his homework, he went to sleep. Okay? We have Ahmed, this is the subject. So after, I don't have Ahmed. Okay? And I don't have had. I'm finished. So I'm not gonna add he or Ahmed and had. I'm gonna take finish and add ing. So after finishing his homework, Ahmed went to sleep. Okay? So if I have before going to sleep, Ahmed had finished his homework. Okay? So don't worry if you don't have a subject in the sentence. If you don't have a subject and you have after or before, just add verb ing. Verb ing. Okay, guys? Now let's practice. After Nada cooks the food, her visitors arrived. We know that after we have had in the PP, then the past simple. So after Nada had cooked the food, her visitors arrived. Now, before, oops, we don't have what? We don't have the subject. So are we going to add a subject from our mind? No. We're going to do what? We're going to add to the verb ing. So before listening to the radio, Ali had done his homework. Okay. After Ola had studied her lessons, so we have had and the PP. So of course we have past simple. So she went out. The boy ran away as soon as he seeing the dog. So the boy ran away. This is a past simple. So after them, after as soon as, I'm gonna add had and the PP. So had seen the dog. When Ayman arrived at the station, so we have past simple. Past simple, so I need past perfect. The train had already left. Great. Now, this is the last unit, guys. It's direct and indirect speech, the amazing structure ever. I like it. What's the direct and indirect speech? Or the reported speech? You can say indirect or reported, okay? Reported speech is a term we use when telling someone what another person said. So, for example, I heard my mom talking to my father. I went to my sister and told her, oh my God, I heard my father. He said blah, 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 blah to my mother. This is reported speech, okay? So direct speech and indirect speech. The direct speech is between the mother and father. The indirect speech is when you take this talk and send it to someone else. Okay? So a direct speech sentence mentions the exact words to the other person said. So Christ said, these are all my necklaces. The indirect speech is some changes the original speakers of the original speaker's words. Christ said, those were all the necklaces. So now we know that the reported speech is when we use it to tell someone what another person said. We use it for gossips. Okay. And for asafir, you know. Okay, guys. Now I need you to follow these steps to change the sentence from direct to indirect. If you follow these steps, it's going to be nothing. It's going to be a piece of cake for you. Okay, the first thing, change. If you have the word said to, change it into told. Ahmed said to Muna. So it's going to be Ahmed told Muna. Okay? Number two, delete the quotation marks. And instead of the first quotation, add that. Okay? So delete the quotation marks and add that. Number three, change the pronouns according to the speaker. If the speaker is a male one, so you're gonna make the pronoun male. If the speaker is female, you can change it into female, like that. Change the verbs from present to past, or from past to past perfect. And change the time markers. What's the time markers? Like yesterday, now, like that. Okay? So follow these steps and you're gonna change the sentence from direct into indirect in a second. Now, we said that you have to change the pronouns according to the speaker. So if I have I, you can change it into he or she according to the speaker. You, it's going to be he, she, they, him, or her. We, it's going to be they. My, it's going to be his or her. Me, it's going to be him or her. Our, it's going to be their. Your, his, her, or their. Us, them. Myself, himself or herself. Ourselves, themselves. Okay? I'm not one of the teachers who's going to say to you, you have to memorize this one, but you have to understand the sentence and you're going to change it from your mind. Okay? But if you would like to memorize it, it's okay. Now, we said that we have to change from present, the verb from present into past. Okay. So if I have a present simple, okay, like I'm exhausted, you have to change it into past simple. It's going to be he was exhausted. So if I have a present continuous, I'm studying, you're going to change it into past continuous. She was studying. If I have a past simple, we said past simple, you can change it into past perfect. So I loved the concert. He had loved the concert. The present perfect, you're going to change it into past perfect. I have never been to Rome. It's going to be she had never been to Rome. If I have will, it's going to be would. I will help you. I would, he would help you. Must, it's going to be had to. You must pay attention. I had to pay attention. To pay attention. Can, it could be, it's going to change into could. You can stay with me. I could stay with her. May, it's going to be might. And could, might, or should, they're going to stay as they are. Should, might, and could. Okay? Okay. What about the time markers? We said yesterday, now, and then you have to change them. So if I have the word today, you're going to change it into that day. If you had now, it's going to be then or at the moment. Yesterday, the day before. Blah, 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 days ago, blah, 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 ago. So it's going to be blah, 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 before. 4 days ago, so 4 days before. Last week, the week before. Next year, the following year. Tomorrow, the next day or the following day. Here, there. This, that. These, those. Ago, previously, or before. It's before. Tonight, that night. Okay, guys? These words, you should memorize them. I'm sorry to tell you, but you should memorize them. Okay. Now, beep, 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 warning. Don't change the verb F. If you find the word says, Ahmed says, blah, 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 don't change the verb after the word says, ever. If you have the sentence talking about a fact, don't change the verb. The teacher said to us, the sun rises from the east. So this is a fact. I'm not going to change it. So the teacher told us that the sun rises from the east. Don't change any facts, guys. Okay. If the speaker reports something immediately or soon after it was just said, if the one talks or had finished his speaking or talking now, you're going to find the word just now. He just said now, like that. Okay? So don't change the exact word or the exact verb. Okay, keep it. Now let's practice. The police told that lots of mobile phones had been stolen that year. Told, we said that told, it means said to, and they should be followed by someone, a name maybe. يبقى told Ahmed, told Munah, like that. I don't know what's wrong with Ahmed and Munah. Okay, so the police told, is it correct? Because we don't have Ahmed or Munah or Farouk or whatever. So it's gonna be said. Yes, exactly. Amr told me that he travel abroad the next week. Uh-oh, the next week. That means this is a future one. It means it was well. So now I'm gonna change it into would travel. Yes, exactly. Heba told me that her plane leaves to London that day. That day, it means today. And the plane has a specific time, and this is the timetable. So the timetable should be in the present simple. So leaves, present simple should be in the past simple, exactly, left. A witness told that the building was on fire. We said that told should be followed by someone. Told Ahmed, told Mona, told Farid. So it's going to be said. Mariam told me that she was studying now, one of the time markers. So now we change it into then. Exactly. The teacher said us that the library was closed. Said us. We have us. We have another one. So it's going to be told us. Excellent, guys. Excellent. And thank you, guys, and good luck for you. And I love you all, and you know that. You know that, I'm sure, that I love you all. Wish you all the best, all the luck in the world for you. And goodbye, and see you in secondary, guys. Bye bye.